Yep. So in this presentation, we'll work out logical database. So what is LDB? Like a logical database, how to create a logical databases in SAP. Logical databases, right? It's nothing but a database within a database, but logically stored within existing physical tables. A logical database, like here, so created in a logical, like how many logical database you want, you can create it within a physical database. But it stores in a physically under database. It's also called as a special ABAP programs to retrieve the data and make it available to application programs, and also called as a special programs. So provides a particular view of a database tables in our system. Particular view means like interface for the database tables, and it contains hierarchical data structure comprising of a tables and link it by using foreign key relationships, like forming a tree structure. Logical database generally it is a tree structure. The logical database reads the data and store them in a program if necessary, like, and process them line by line or to the application program or function model by using LDB, using that interface work areas to create your own LDBs. So C36 is a key code for logical database to create a logical database. So the main task of a logical database, like read the same data for several programs instead of writing the same program, same OpenSQL statement to read the same data for several programs. Individual programs without even knowing that exact structure and relationship between the database tables can rely on the logical databases directly to read them database entries in a right order during that event directly. So define the same user interface for several programs, parameters and select options. Based on that, you can define the same user interface for many programs. The central authorization checks are available, and for a central and sensitive data can be programmed centrally in the database systems directly. And also it improves the performance. Logical database, it involves like process improvement of the performance of any program. For example, using joins instead of like nested select queries. So according to that, it improves the database performance. And the reading database, like a logical database. So there is a program level, you have to write the reports and the tables, table names, and some events. So get statements and the processing statements. And without logical database, generally we used to write it reports, tables, table name, and the select statement, select and then select. Next select and then select. In between you have to process actually. You write the programs and that's what processing of the programs. So basically the structure of the logical database, what is designed in 3 ways, and the overall structure like structure, selection, and the database programs. It defines a data view of LDB logical database, order in which the data is made available to user depends on the hierarchical structure of the logical database is concerned. But I can create how many fields, how many tables. First you have to decide the structure of the table fields. how many fields you want to create as output in LDB. Then the selections, to define a selection screen forming like the user interfaces of executable programs using the logical database. Its layout is usually determined by the structure, so selection statements. You can create a parameters and select options in this LDB. Database program contains ABAP statements to read data and pass it to the user of the LDB. The program is a collection of special subroutines. In this subroutines is a block of code like introduced by form and end form, and it is determined by the structure and the selections. You can adopt that database program to your own requirements and also extend it. You can create your own database. It contains ABAP read statements and programs and etc. in this. The structure is like designed with the root node at the highest level with the subnodes, and the further subnodes below the nodes you have to provide. And the nodes can be structures in ABAP, a dictionary or types from the type group. Maximum nodes allowed for LDBs 300 max. The root node at the highest level NFP. The structure of the LDB designed with the root nodes at the highest level. The subordinate nodes and the subnodes can be defined at a further level. And these nodes can be structures in ABAP dictionary or like types from any type group. Generally like you can create like tables. On the tables you can create like structures, right? Or like you can create a type groups in a global type or local types. So maximum nodes allowed in LDB like 300, and executable programs can have a get statement for each node, and otherwise the process through all the nodes that are lying in the path of the root to the root node specific with the get commands. There are a number of keywords and commands according to that. The selection, second one is selection component is based upon the structure component, and it is used for accepting the selection criteria from users. You can provide user like parameters and select options, allow us to accept the required selection criteria. There are two types of selections. One is a field selection and a free selection. You can design based on this. The field selections are at the one which specified as a part of the program, as a ABAP program, and also called as a primary selection, so which we are going to create as a primary selection. And a free selection are also called as a dynamic selections, so because they are specified at a runtime. So both like a free and a field selection user choice at a runtime, you will get it checkbox symbols, and based on that you can select it. So which option you want the user can create. Database program component is based on both structure and the selection component. So according to that you have to create, and this is used for like extracting the required data from the database, and as specified in the required component through x86 you have to create a program, and in that you have to specify everything. The database program of a logical database will have two includes. One is header include and the system routine includes. Right, generally like a header include. Header include is for work area declaration purpose, or a tables, any table names, structures, work areas you have to declare. And after that, a system routine include consists of two default includes. So one related to the searcher and the other related to events like initialization, preview, and also according to along with this, two or more that depends upon the nodes, how many nodes you have created and number of nodes. Each node it create one includes in the program, and open the include nodes. You have to write a piece of code. Apart from the default includes, it is also contains a separate include for every node declared in LDB. Right, include related to a node which will be like made up for required selection statements and all. Like next one is between a select and unselect. There could be automatically created some events, statements. There will be like a put statement which is used for transferring the data to calling program directly. Like we know like a put means putting the like a data on the database and place it on LDB. From LDB you have to take it. By using get statement, you can get this data from the logical database and is included in the calling program for relevant nodes automatically. We individually can get it input and also called as by using LDB underscore process function module. So we can assign a more logical database directly to the report. So when you call this function module inside program, so you have to attach more than one or two LDBs to this special ABAP programs. Events in LDB logical database, there is a get, put, get late reject, get late, reject table, end of selection. These events according to that you have to work. Get is an event. Get reads the data from the logical database, and with the get event execution always start from the root node, and it is basically from the beginning of the root node it should be start. Put is also one more event. Put writes the data in a logical database, and the put keyword gets the data from the database to the LDB. So according to that you have to place it. Next one is a get late. With the get late event, all subordinate nodes will be executed first. So default if not specified by using it will start from the root node. And a get late means all subordinate nodes will be executed first. According to that you'll get it. Next one is a get late reject. The get late reject event executes only subordinate nodes for this, not like the not from the beginning. So get late reject table. So there is a one more get late reject table event can execute the node. So where user specifies a particular nodes only, you can specify the particular table name. Get late reject node names according to that it will work. And there is a one function module, there is LDB underscore process. So it is possible to call logical database independently from any ABAP program. Using the function module, there is a LDB underscore process. So this function module will call more LDBs in one program. We can call more than one logical database from the same program, and also call the same logical database more than once from the same program also. So you can, in SE38 you can attach only one LDB program at a time. You cannot attach more than one LDB. Sometimes a client requirement, according to that you can close it, or you can call it more than one LDBs in the same program. So this function module will support automatically. The selection screen is not displayed in this function module. The selections are filled using the interface parameters of the function module. The logical database does not trigger any get events in the calling program, but passes the data back to the caller in a calling program in a routine. A calling logical database using LDB process those decouples that actual data retrieval from the proceeding selection screens through interfaces of the function module it allowed. Processing and the subsequent data is processed. So in this logical database versus select statement, logical databases nowadays generally clients are not using. It's old pattern, and get is a keyword event. The function model like connections already exist, so using that we'll get the data. And beginners can find the database, they are so easily after installations. The logic is reusable because every logic of the LDB can be reusable. Same program interface, multiple programs can reuse this logical database. Reusable is a main flexible concept in LDB, because instead of writing each and every program, select statement, select queries and all everything is not required, and parameters, select options also not required. Authority check is made automatically in LDB, and a select faster than the logical databases generally, and a more powerful in logical database, and a select into table order fine it can be used. It's more flexible compared to logical database, because SAP introduced a lot of things in OpenSQL after select into table append. Into table is more flexible. Earlier we used to write it select and select. Every query it is selecting the data from the database, unnecessarily increasing the more burden on the database side. That's what they reduce the performance. So more specific coding is easier to work for the database. In this case, that's what LDBs are not accessing at present, and but also like logical database are slower process. Some cases changes to the logical database affects all the programs that use it, and but automatic checks, authority checks are missing in this, and parameters for select option have to be coded a little bit. So it is you can say like SAP introduced performance tunings on that basis of into statement you have to use it. Then for all entries concepts also came into the picture. Then binary search, read table, table level. That's what more flexible is select queries. Right, this is what LDP presentation, just only theory part. So many logical databases also created in SAP, and logical database you have to create like this in a physical database. So there is a T code SE36. So to create a logical database, when you create logical database, first you have to design structure, database program, selection text, documentation, and the selection text, how many selections, and the search path, and maintenance everything. So according to this, it will work. In SE38 normally, when you create a program, for example, so there is attachment easy. In this you have to create, for example, LDB. So type is executable. The moment when you select executable program, you can attach here that LDB SE38 name here. Its next presentation will work out how to create a programs. At this level I have done with how to create logical databases and all. So I'll create next presentation how to create logical database steps.